Good morning. Welcome to the Magic Forest. Oh, little friend. Little other friend. Big friend. Big friend. Oh, you're such a big soft friend, aren't you? Such an incredibly good boy. I was actually worried about Henry because this garden's full of chickens and birds and cats and other dogs. He's always been fine with other dogs, but um, you know, you just don't know, like, because he always used to chase cats, but then when he actually caught up with one, he realised he was scared of it. So luckily he's just he's just a pussy. He's just a big pussy, big cute pussy. But Henry's a runt, and that's why he was abandoned by his mother. Often dogs, wild dogs, they leave the runt behind because it can't keep up with the pack. And so when I got Henry, he could barely, walk. He was kind of swimming along the floor, and so his mother left him behind, which is sad. Smoking. I need to give up smoking. That's my next big thing. I've kind of done the alcohol, and I think I'm kind of happy with that. It's been 4 months, which I guess is, yes, I can be proud of 4 months, but also 4 months is a short time, so it doesn't have much weight. Well, for other people, anyway. Other people, I say 4 months, he'll just be back on it again. Which they've every reason to believe, because all my adult life I've been like on and off the wagon. I think I give up in 2004 for the whole of 2004, which was when I ran the London Marathon. And I started smoking again when I was training for the London Marathon. It was always like that kind of, I don't know, self-destruction or something. It's like, I'm getting too healthy. There you go. But it would be pointless kind of trying to improve my fitness, improve my uh, health by not drinking, and then smoking be the downfall. So it is something I'm trying to think of a strategic plan to come up with to quit smoking, or just quit. Um, don't know. Anyway, what did I want to talk about? Some people say to me, like, you always land on your feet, and I would say that, like, in this treehouse, I have landed on my feet. This is just the exact environment that I want to be in. I'm in a treehouse, and I've got a workspace and a beautiful artist community, and so I would say that is landing on your feet. But how do you land on your feet? How can you be a person that always lands on their feet? And often people say, that you make your own luck, and that being positive is going to mean that you are more lucky. If you are positive about everything. Positive psychology just saves me. It saved me from everything. And I used to be very bipolar. I used to kind of be crazy, manic, drinking, partying, having fun for 2 or 3 months, and then I would be like at the bottom of a dark hole, crying into my own wine and not seeing anybody, just stay in my room for a few months, and then I'd come out of that. And I always felt that I'd kind of learned something about myself when I was in a dark hole. And I also accepted it. You know, if the psychologist was telling me that I was bipolar, I was like, well, okay, that's the thing, that's me. I'll just deal with it. But then why do you speak to a psychologist is to actually learn to live with it, and function properly. And that you can actually make it go more like that rather than like that. And that's to do with gratitude. And the problem always is that it was never this. It was always this or this. And when you're down here and somebody says, cheer up, it's, it'll be okay, or, look on the bright side. It doesn't mean anything to a depressed person. It just doesn't mean anything. The idea of looking on the bright side does not mean anything. You can't comprehend it if you're down here. And when you're up here, you're kind of flying high and you forget to be grateful. But up here is the only time you can actually create action. And it was all to do with gratitude, every day being thankful. And I had to remind myself here to be grateful every day. And it's easy not to. Because you're here and everything's fantastic. So why do you stop to think how lucky you are? And then just by that constant gratitude every day, and looking on the bright side actually means, thinking how lucky you are to wake up this morning in a treehouse. Then becomes kind of second nature, and that as soon as something terrible happens, that actually, your mind is conditioned to then suddenly look for the most positive outlook. And so it's about conditioning your brain when you're here. So when you're down here, then your brain is conditioned to know that you're going to come out. And I think one thing that does that as well is beauty. And beauty is constant. Beauty is constant, and it constantly surrounds us, and it is wherever we look. And if you are down here, you're kind of looking up at beauty. If you imagine somebody's just breaking up with you, and suddenly you are looking at you're sitting in a restaurant and you're looking at a glass on the table, or the tablecloth, and you suddenly have these amazing eyes. It's almost, you can see every detail, and everything looks so crisp and clear and precise and beautiful. And so beauty is actually, when you're down here and you're looking up at beauty, because beauty is here, then beauty is actually more beautiful, if you like. When you're up here, beauty is just something else that makes you happy. And beauty is constant, and love is constant. The love that beautiful people that surround you are constant. Romantic love's a different story. Romantic love is like that. So you can never put any kind of trust, I don't think, in that romantic love. And so I think, now I think I would say I used to be bipolar. And if you tell that to a bipolar person, they don't want to hear it. They've been told that they've got bipolar, and they almost wear it like a badge, you know, especially like millennials. You know, I'm bipolar. I've got OCD. You know, if you're a millennial without a psychological disorder, then you're not going to be trendy. But actually, if you could, yes, maybe I have got bipolar, because I still, obviously, everybody goes like this, but that would be a normal person. So everybody is a bipolar in a sense. Um, and that actually, you know, I would say I used to be bipolar, because now my bipolar is more like a normal person. I'm more like a normal person. And you know, just and it is, you know, I guess it's repetitive, and people, and if people don't want to hear it, if people that have bipolar don't want to hear it, that there is a way out, and when you're at the bottom, it doesn't make any sense, so you don't believe it anyway. But if you don't believe that there is a way out, then you're certainly never going to get to be able to change the curve. Um, but that, you know, that fact that beauty is constant, and that when you're down, instead of locking myself in my room, I should just get outside and go and find some nature. And nature is always there, it's always around you, beauty is always around you, especially if you go out and look for it. And so making your own luck is more about being grateful. And also it's about, you know, you can't land on your feet if you don't know what you want. You know, or if you are doing things that other people tell you that you want, and they're not actually things that you want. You know, a lot of people wouldn't want to live in a tree house full of kittens and dogs. You know, that's not their cup of tea. It might be dirty or mosquito, or there's no walls. Oh my God, there's no walls. There is walls, but they're just kind of holy. And yeah, I think, you know, trying to find what you want is always going to be about, you know, the things that you love, which is kittens and tree houses and Mother Nature. And if I surround myself with the things that I love, obviously, in other words, that is landing on my feet or making my own luck. So that's it. 13 minutes. 13. 13 is not an unlucky number, it's a good number. Anyway, I love you, and we're going to go into town today. We've got to change some money. So I think I will have coffee and then hit the town with Mr. Henry. Okay, take care, and I love you, and I shall see you in the magic